Okay, here we go. Welcome everybody. Joseph here from Living TV. It's a pleasure to be here. We have a very special guest, Shima Katouzian. Welcome, Shima.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. That's really exciting.
Absolutely. So, Facebook people, today I'm going to introduce you to a really extraordinary woman. You will see. The sky is the limit for this woman. I will let her, briefly introduce herself, and then we're gonna go over a little bit her Instagram profile, which you will surely appreciate the beauty, the aesthetic, the taste Shima shows in her profile really tells you a lot about her. But without further ado, Shima, please tell us a little
Thank
bit
you.
about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I am turning 32 within 4 days.
Oh, okay.
I moved to
Happy
US
birthday.
thank you. I moved to US 2 years and 6 ago.
Hmm.
So it's not a long, but I'm here and I'm basically like trying to live the American dream here. Before coming here, I traveled to 29 countries and I lived in 5 countries. So technically, US is the fifth country that I'm living in right now. And when I moved here, I already had like some experiences on different businesses. But when I came here, it's like truly like a different world, like different opportunities just show up on a daily basis. And I'm just like saying yes to everything. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm taking everything. So I have a lot of things on my plate, but I love absolutely all of them and doing all of them with passion. And as you said, sky's the limit. I don't really think that they need to be like directly related to each other or like I need to just introduce myself with just one title and one word. I can definitely talk about everything. And I absolutely love about like being an entrepreneur that you can definitely touch everything in every industry.
Well, that's great. Yeah, definitely. So you're based in California, right?
Yes, correct. In Newport Beach. It's Southern California.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Well, one of the most beautiful places in the world for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, definitely American can have that effect. Like at the beginning, it's really like a kid in a toy store. It's the opportunities, the people, and especially the West Coast vibe. I mean, you really, you arguably, you went to one of the, arguably best place that we have here in America. So Shima, yeah, definitely. Let's go a little bit. So I want to show you your Instagram profile because
Yeah.
this has a little bit an idea of the sophistication and the aesthetic
Thank you.
of what you do. So here we see that your main passions are fashion, real estate, and tech.
Yes.
In particular, when and how did you start? So you said 2 years ago. What was your first interest?
So America introduced me to fashion, to be honest with you. I was styling my own styles and then like just being familiar with like a lot of fashion, like different fashion styles. But like when I came here, I definitely like took one step further in this passion. And I just got introduced to different brands, going like through events and then just getting introduced to like many fashion CEOs, like different brands. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely it just like made the career right there. And it actually like was just a start point for me as an immigrant in a country that I have absolutely no friends and family. Just to
Mm.
start like letting know people and then talking to people with a language that I'm sure everyone loves. Like
Mm.
fashion is something that you would never find anyone saying that, oh, that is too much of a style, or like that is like
So
too
true.
colorful. Like no one would ever say that. Like people might have different opinions about makeup, might different like
Yeah.
opinions about like hairstyles or anything like that. But about fashion, you would never find anyone like say something bad about like good style. People might have their own opinion, but when you are like kind of generic and then showing everyone how things might go, then things are kind of different. So it was definitely like a start point to just like start friendships and like different relationship for me, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we can surely see the true love that you have for fashion. Now, what we can
Yeah.
see here is again, also as an influencer, like you show. Like the consistency of your style is really the quality, is the class. Instead of looking for a specific tone of color or pattern, as we can see here, there is always the attention to the details. Of course, the contest with the environment behind you, and and different styles. You are extremely versatile. Can go from just a tee and jeans, and we have seen you with gowns. So different also time of the day, different events. Of course, as an entrepreneur, you work in a high scale luxury environment. So even when you're casual, we can see that there is always again extreme attention to details, because it's a challenge when you are constantly in touch with people who keep themselves to the up to the highest standard. They expect that from you, right? As well.
Exactly. Yeah, that is completely true. And the other thing is that, like through my fashion like passion, I support small businesses or local businesses. That is something that I'm always after. Um, I support like brands that they are like managed by women, like women entrepreneurs. They have their own brands. I work with them, and I like passionately show their products on my feed. And also, I um, try to show that being like showing luxury and then being in style doesn't mean that you have to like spend like tons of money on different products. It can be affordable. It can be a local business that you're supporting your community, and it can be stylish at the same time. I really want to show that that is my point of view on my fashion blog. I want to prove that affordability can be luxurious too. It doesn't necessarily have to be like very expensive, but also like keeping it up, like always being in the market, seeing what's around us, and not just following everyone's pattern. Just be unique in our own way, and just truly express our feelings through fashion by what we are wearing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, absolutely. This is because from the outside, especially when it comes to successful people, is that it seems easy. It's never easy. It's never easy because again, you have to consider that in a luxury. Of course, clients have the highest expectations, and they expect again the maximum results, and you have to live up to those standards. So
Exactly.
speaking about challenging environments, so what would you say was your first challenge that you encountered when you were introduced to this career?
So honestly, like looking at it as a career, it just like introduced me to the real estate industry too. So I technically have the same clientele base like within like different industries. It doesn't necessarily have to be like very divided. I
Hmm.
have the same friend who just buys a real estate from me and follows my style. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But definitely the first challenge to me, again, I have to switch back to like being an immigrant, was that I had to learn everything from zero. Like when I came here, I definitely was not like let's just be casual. I wasn't an idiot when I came here, but definitely like with a lot of things you feel like an idiot. You're like, oh my god, I don't know that. Now I have to go and learn everything from zero again, regardless
Yeah.
of what is my education, like what I've done in my life so far. Like that's the challenge of immigration, I believe, that you have to start like learning everything. And I was reading like all these like very very basic books about real estate by the time that I started, and just like learning the words, and then like a lot of words, they are not like English, they're just
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
about like
well,
the
the
law.
slang for sure.
They come from Latin, and then like it was like a challenge just to go after like finding the words, finding the meaning, and then feeling it and realizing it,
Yeah.
and again trying it in real life by like talking to customers about it. So it was like my biggest challenge and the first challenge at the same time, technically,
Yeah,
because I
I
had to
understand.
learn everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well,
Mhm.
and you did that extremely well. So, how were you able to overcome this initial curve? That of course, if you come from abroad and you are of Persian heritage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in and that's what I wanted to show you something. I can resist to do this because as I mentioned, you were able to, in your style, you were able to put, and I want to stress these out, the flavor of being exotic from such an exotic land, and the Californian vibe. How did you do that? It's amazing because
Exactly. It's a mixture now. Thank you.
because some of these pictures really could have, you know, been taken in Dubai. That's how natural you look, and at the same time, how California is already a great place, but you make it look even more exotic, and that's really
Thank you.
goes. It's kudos to you, your personality, your style, in order to do that. You really took the best of both worlds and brought them together in your style.
I love that. Thank you so much. But that is true. I mean, I'm not saying it as like complimenting myself, but it is true. I just like anytime that, but let me tell you something funny here.
Yeah.
So, coming from Persian heritage, my dad, like parents, like Persian parents, they're so protective. They're like
Oh yeah.
telling their
Yeah.
kids what to do, where to go, especially to girls. They are like
Hmm.
so conservative, telling girls like to just always cover yourself, do not wear like too open like
Hmm.
clothes, and then cover your hair. Like not like my parents, they were not like that to tell me cover my hair or anything like that, but
Hmm.
they absolutely do not want to see like a bikini picture from me, you know? And so it was always like keeping it the way that they want it to be, and then just like touching like the fashion in America and especially in California, because California is very known of like California tan, Californian accent, a lot of like exotic things in California as well. So it was like a cute mixture of these two that I'm just like always like making fun of my father's reaction on my Instagram captions. If you read the captions, I'm just like very connected to my audience. And like anytime that I'm showing like something that it shows a lot of my body than the clothes, I'm telling my followers being like, hey, be careful. My dad might show up anytime and say something. So it's
Well, that's
I
that's
certainly
really
don't like
awesome.
it, but
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, on one hand, it tells you that a father will always be a father. The
Yeah.
protective instinct of yeah. My daughter, she can do what she wants, but
Yeah.
be careful. You can't mess with her, because
Exactly.
if you
Yeah.
mess with her, you're
Same
gonna
thing
mess
with my
with me.
dad. Same thing with my dad. It's so funny. He just like never wanted me to just like he was telling me do not do this and that. Obviously, he's not that kind of a dad being like, oh, why did you do that? And like going
Yeah.
out of his way.
Well,
But
but again,
obviously, you know.
absolutely. But I wanna stress something out, because especially in the age of social media, it's easier for some Instagrammer to just play on the revealing side in order to catch attention.
Yeah.
Instead, what I want to say here is that so yeah, Shima, I was saying so that it's relatively easy to be catchy, catch the attention, being revealing. But what I want to say is that you are, as we can see here, extremely feminine, extremely elegant, and again, and I wouldn't say that this is conservative at all. It's just that there are many ways you can show your femininity, and this is a great example where actually, from a man's perspective, I find this honestly way more interesting. This is a
Oh,
personal
that's
opinion,
great. That's great
but
to know.
well, it's again, of course, again, it's a reel of many different opinions. But the point is that, of course, as you can see in a picture like this, there is the attention to the accessories. It's not just the hairstyle and the makeup. Is the shoes, is the rings, is the belt. So you have to put a lot of much more effort in order to achieve that. Then when I see pictures with hashtag I miss summer, and it's just girls in bikini on a beach, I don't know. I don't see a great narrative over there. Compared instead for something, an example like this, where is researched, is well thought, it's curated, and again, people can do whatever they want. But I'm just saying that when being a fashion editor, I very much appreciate much
Thank
more,
you.
an effort like this.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, Shima, so as I put here in our graphic, so people can find you on Instagram at Hiroshimas.
Yeah.
And over there, you also have the contact, her email address for if you want to reach out to her for collaborations or partnership. Shima also runs YouTube channel, so you can check some of her videos. But as she mentioned at the beginning of this live, believe it or not, this is not even everything she does.